Are you ready for something supernatural? Then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Supernaturals, the podcast that takes you through harrowing tales, myths and legends, adventures through haunted places, and horror histories, and everything in between. Keep the door locked and the light off if you dare.
I hope your doors have been locked.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another special episode of the Supernaturals.
Cheers.
We're your hosts, Jake and Cal. And I don't know if you're watching. Well, I guess if you were listening, you probably heard something really cool and spooky. And if you're watching, why is there no color?
It's true.
So wild. It's because today we're talking about a certain vampire, Nosferatu. Well, technically it's Count Orlock, but yeah, Nosferatu.
Count Orlock, also based off of Dracula.
So yeah, we'll get into that. But yeah, so if you're like us, we are so excited for the new Nosferatu remake coming out on Christmas Day, directed by Robert Eggers, and I'm so excited.
Dude, for the longest time, I really thought he was like related to other directors, and I was like looking him up, and he isn't.
What do you mean?
I thought he had like nephews that were also into film. Nope.
Really?
I could have swore he did. Could have sworn. But, oh well. Nonetheless,
yeah,
he's made some good films.
Yeah, so
some not so good films in my opinion, but
yeah, Jake's hit or miss with Robert Eggers. I personally have liked every one of his movies so far. Especially one is actually my favorite movie of all time, and it's not even horror. That was a giveaway for anybody who knows. So I think,
speaking of giveaways,
oh yeah, we're gonna do a giveaway here soon. How many times have we said that though in the episodes and haven't done it?
It's gonna happen.
It'll happen. Just follow
it
our
literally
socials
is
and you'll
sitting
get one
right
of
there.
these so.
It's literally right there.
It's right there. So
right there.
I guess just stay tuned for the announcement. This episode might be a tad bit shorter because I mean, really, it's not. So in our original plan for kind of the mid-season break, we were talking about doing some holiday specials. We wanted to do, the Thanksgiving special, which already came out. And then we have a holiday special coming out in, I think, a week or two after this. And then we have a Valentine's Day special and then a St. Patrick's Day special. And then that leads up into season 2. Because we are currently hard at work on season 2. That's why this episode is going to be a little bit shorter.
It's true. I mean, we're giving you as much content as we can while also busting our ass.
Yeah, we're trying to do some really big things for season 2, which we're really excited about. So these little episodes are to just help you, tide you over until then. So, but come on, how could we not talk about Nosferatu though? Because this movie looks so good.
It really does. Like the trailer just draws you in.
Yeah.
Like from the first time I saw it, I was just like, no fucking way this is a remake of this 1920s movie.
Well, we'll get into that. but
you
yeah.
say that, but I'm just like, fuck, dude.
We're not there yet. Yeah. So the trailer itself was
it's spooky.
So good.
It's gothic. It's dark. It's all you kind of want from a trailer. It doesn't really give you a lot.
Yeah. That's a big one is they're not showing Count Orlock at all. So, okay. So if you guys know, if you don't know, Nosferatu is essentially just the story of Dracula. However, like it's based off the Bram Stoker's, the Dracula book. However, they couldn't use the name Dracula, so it was like unauthorized. So they just were like, let's make him Count Orlock, and then I believe Nosferatu is a term for the devil or something like that. So, but yeah, it was just kind of like their way of just saying, here's another vampire. It's essentially Dracula, but yeah, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, so I need more Gothic horror in my life, bro.
Hey. the Dark Knight, or not Dark Knight, Jesus, the next
Gotham
Batman,
City.
the next Batman is coming out in 2 years, or a year and a half.
Yeah, it's cool
So
because
that's cool.
Yeah, Batman is essentially
There's your Gothic.
yeah. It's just Batman. I mean, it's in the name Gotham City. But yeah, Batman is a Gothic superhero, right? I mean, I would say that, and I would classify that. So, I don't know. I fucking love Batman. Speaking of Robert Pattinson, though, I know I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but when I heard that he was cast as Batman, I was like, oh, hell no.
He was about to lose his shit.
I got Edward Cullen playing fucking Batman. No, man, I'm not into that. And then I heard like there was some behind the scenes things, like he didn't want to put on weight for the role. And I was like, God, so he's going to be skinny as shit. Like, what? Oh, God. And then I remember people were like, oh, yeah, just watch, just wait and see. Like, he's a good actor. And I hadn't seen any of his other movie roles. And then all of a sudden, one of Robert Eggar's movies, The Lighthouse, came out. And that movie, if you don't know, The Lighthouse, go watch it. I should probably say today is going to feature a lot of spoilers. Anyway, yeah. So The Lighthouse is a complete black and white movie, and it has Robert Patterson and Willem Dafoe, and they're lighthouse keepers. But a storm rolls in, and basically they kind of just lose their minds. There's like visions of mermaids. There's a super close up of some guy, jacking off, and then like you see the jizz and super art house.
Very art house.
But yeah, so the point is though, I remember seeing Robert Pattinson in that role, seeing him actually lose his mind. And I was like, damn, okay, I'll give you a shot. And now he's my favorite Batman. So it worked out. Yeah, it worked out. I like the super dark and gritty take of the new Batman stuff. I love that shit. So
it is good. It just makes me want to go to Scotland so bad. Just see all the Gothic cathedrals out there.
Yeah. Germany too.
Germany
too.
Exactly.
That one big ass cathedral in Germany.
Gosh, dude.
Bro, that doesn't even look real. It looks straight up out of it. I forgot the name.
It's fake.
I forgot the name, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but
yeah,
it is very iconic and very, very cool.
It is cool. So I want to ask you, you've seen The Witch.
I have,
and I know you have a different take on The Witch than I do. I'm a Anya Taylor-Joy stan. Love Anya, and
she's a great actor.
I'm Furiosa.
She is a great actress, though. I will give her all the props in the world. She can kill every role.
Yeah.
Just the movie she's in, I just don't really like.
The Witch. So
and Furiosa, care less about the Mad Max
Furiosa
series.
Was sick. Well, you hadn't really seen Mad Max, so
but it was boring to me.
But you got 10 minutes for the movie,
and it was boring.
No, you got 10 minutes. For
it
the
was
movie.
Boring.
Like, do you know how many movies start boring, and then you keep watching, and then they turn the fuck up? If you stopped watching that one with Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield 10 minutes in, you probably would have just been like, "Yeah, I'm all right." But you finished it, and then you enjoyed it. Yeah, served, bitch. Crazy ass.
You can't tell me you haven't had an experience.
I have. Yeah. And you know what? I usually get about 45 to an hour, and then I go, okay, there's like a half hour left. Do I really need to finish this? Do I need to see how it ties up? And if there's 1 hour left, I'll say, yeah, I'm going to watch a little bit more. But if there's only like 20 minutes left and I think the movie is shit so far, I will just say like, nah, I'm all right. But I at least give it an hour.
I gave it a whirl.
This guy.
My bad. I just don't like that type of movie.
So tell me why you didn't like The Witch. I want to know.
The artsiness was fine. I didn't mind it, but I just thought it was a very slow movie. And at that time in my life, I really didn't care for slow movies. Mm-hmm. I was like way more fast-paced, action-packed type things and need a lot going on.
Have you rewatched it since?
I think it's because I just see that fucking ADHD and I'm just like, fucking change something.
Have you watched it since?
I've only watched it once.
Okay.
I have only watched it once.
So do you even remember like
Oh, I
stuff.
remember the fucking dark barn scene vividly with the goat witch bitch in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
And that was actually a
What
cool
about
scene.
the ending with like the people like flying around and shit,
Like floating.
yeah,
That was weird.
that was crazy.
But like that's like the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Like it takes so long to get there. They're like looking in the forest going, what the fuck is happening and shit like that. And I was just like, I respect the vision. It just wasn't a movie for me.
I'm gonna urge you to rewatch it at some point.
All right. And I will take you up on that.
Yeah.
When you watch From. Watch From, guys. It's really good.
This guy's been trying to get me to watch that show for like 2 weeks now.
We should talk about it because it's so fucking good, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it is. Have you watched The Penguin?
No.
No, exactly. That's like 8 episodes.
From is like 24.
No, see, you keep telling me to watch these shows that have multiple seasons, and I'm not a binger, so I can't just like binge that shit. I haven't even finished Black Sails yet. I'm like the
But you
season
finished The
3
Penguin?
finale. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you binged it?
No, because they released weekly. I watched it every week. I was like behind by like 4 episodes, and I remember I watched like an episode a night.
You would binge all the way up to
No.
the release day.
No, because I had already finished. Like I spaced it out like 1 episode. It comes out Sundays. So I like was 4 episodes behind. So I watched like 1 on Monday, 1 on Tuesday,
Okay,
1 on
okay,
Wednesday,
that's fine.
1 on Thursday.
Sure.
And then I got to the new one.
All right, that's sick. Why can't you do the same thing with another show?
I don't know. Maybe because it's like there's not a deadline. Like there's not like
What does
it's like
that
I have
to
all
do
the
with
time
anything?
in the world to watch this shit. So it's like
So he has all the time in the world to watch the things I suggest and then never does.
yeah.
And it pisses me off.
I'd rather play NCAA.
Dude, I'm telling you, I need someone to talk about the show. It's so freaking good.
No, I don't doubt that it's good. It's the same reason why like you won't watch Daredevil. Daredevil is so fucking good, and you won't watch it just because like you don't want to watch it. It's the same shit. Yeah,
You can pick one show and I will pick one show and we will watch them.
Well, you already picked the bear. I have to watch the fucking bear.
Also good. Season 3 is a little bit, but you know, kind of getting back to the main thing.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you guys think? Do you binge shows or do you just kind of like do what I do and kind of just get through them a little bit?
Hit me.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought I hit the table. It's my bad.
It's all good. I was just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm curious because there are some things I can avidly like just binge the shit out of.
Yeah.
And then there are some where I'm like, all right, that was like fucking Game of Thrones, dude. I had to take my fucking sweet ass time with that show.
Yeah.
Because it was just so much information thrown at you in one freaking episode. You're like, wow, that was just a mouthful of stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot happened. And you're just like, whew, that was kind of intense. I'm going to take a little break and come back to it. And you eventually keep going. But it took me like 4 months to watch the 7 seasons.
That's fair.
Which seems fast, but it wasn't that fast.
I watched Game of Thrones like in real time. So I was every week I was watching Game of Thrones and stuff.
See, I never got into it until season 8 was coming out. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, Jake, you got to watch this show.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never seen it before, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
See, I give things a shot.
I think for me, okay, well, that's also a pop culture icon, Game of Thrones. Who doesn't know Game of Thrones? I guarantee you we could ask 10 people of our viewers and be like, have you heard the show From? Be like, what the hell is that? You ask 10 people what's Game of Thrones, even if they haven't seen it, they'll know what Game of Thrones is. There's such a big difference.
Well, let's see. Do you guys know what From is? Speak now in the comments.
Do you know what Game of Thrones is? Yes? Okay.
I'm going to put a poll up.
for From?
Do you know Game of Thrones more or From more? And we're going to see.
Okay, all right. It's going to be all Game of Thrones, but I like the initiative.
I want to believe that our viewers, because it's horror, like From.
I mean, maybe I'm out of the loop. I think my issue is I really like movies. Like I'm a movie guy over a TV show guy.
That's fair.
Yeah, because TV shows, there's just so much, and that can be a good thing. Like,
I like a lot of content though.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying with Game of Thrones. That's sick, right? You have like novels of stuff like in a season, right? Like just so much going on, so many different storylines, all that. But sometimes I just want to turn my brain off for 2 hours from a busy ass life and then just get right back into it afterwards.
Yeah. Get taken out in a movie real quick and then jump right back in.
See, like all the Marvel TV shows, I low-key hate those. Like I loved Moon Knight. I'm super excited for Daredevil. I thought Daredevil was great.
See, I wish they were just like one season, but I
wish they were movies.
I don't know if they could tell enough of their story in a movie.
I don't know. I think they could have crushed a Moon Knight movie. I think it would have been so
Aren't
sick.
they making one?
Yeah, so season 2, apparently the rumor is that season 2 is getting scrapped because they want it to be a movie instead. Yeah. Which I am all for. All for. Moon Knight's so sick. But okay, let's get back on topic.
The whole idea was things are slow build in that movie, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, with TV shows, they can be really slow too.
Yeah.
But yeah, at that time in my life, that is not the type of movie I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Now, I will take you up on or rewatching it because I don't mind slow movies, especially after Skinamarink. That was one of the slowest movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
I mean, I get it though. You have to be in the mood for it.
You do. You can't just sit down and watch it, you know?
You can be like, oh, what's this going on? You know, background, somebody's cooking back there. And
no, you gotta be
like
involved in the movie.
Lights have to be off. Volume has to be like all the way up.
Snuggies are on.
Yeah. And then your phone's away. Yeah.
But that's kind of how we get with movies we watch in general now anyways.
It's true. But I think that's the thing is maybe my attention span, like when I'm watching a movie, I can be like all in on the movie. But because I know it's like, okay, in 2 hours, this will be over. I'm done. A show, if I try to binge, it's like 8 hours.
It is a lot.
And you're just checking my phone. Maybe there's a boring ass scene that's, because there's a lot of filler in TV shows. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know.
That kind of brings up a thought I had just now with how you get dive deep into movies and turning the lights off and all that is I like seeing them at theaters, especially because I know at our house, I'm like making popcorn, let my dog out.
Yeah.
You know how many times I jump off the couch to do something else because I'm just like, I got to do something else.
Let me get Soul out. Let me take Soul out really quick.
Well, he's got to go. Well, and then he does his bullshit. But
yeah. I think that he just wants to sit out there for a second.
Let me just say, I love my dog, but he does this thing where he'll sit kind of in the hallway and look at you like he has to go outside. And then you let him out. He does his thing. He'll come back to the glass door. He looks at you like he's wanting to come in. You go open the door and he runs back into the yard. It's the most annoying thing.
Yeah. There's also the times when he looks like he wants to, so he'll walk over to the couch and he'll put his face on the couch like he wants to get up, and you're like, okay, come on, bud, and then he just runs away. And I guess all right, whatever.
This is why I have a problem watching movies when he's around.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. Well, okay, so
tell the audience your thoughts on the movie.
On The Witch.
Yeah,
I like it a lot because of the setting, the folkness to it. I really like historical horror.
Yeah.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. If you have a historical horror movie, I'm kind of already into it. Obviously Anya Taylor-Joy, she was sick. The goat was creepy. What's his name? What was his name? It's Black Billy or some shit. Wasn't that the goat's name?
I can't remember.
Okay. Anyway, escapes me. But yeah, that was the first art house movie I've ever seen. And believe it or not, I mean, that was the first art house movie a lot of people have seen.
Right.
And that's why it was because it was, it was so hyped, right? A24, it was, a newer studio and things like that. And then people saw it and they were like, this is not your typical movie. This isn't your typical popcorn, munching, movie where you go, it wasn't that. It wasn't jump scares, and it was super atmospheric.
Which is cool. Atmospheric horror is a good genre.
Yeah. I just like shit that it's like, it's just unsettling. It's just creepy. I think that that's more scary than jump scares. I kind of can't stand maybe that's why I like Longlegs so much. I know Longlegs turned out to be like really controversial, I should say, because a lot of people they thought it was slow. I mean, my dad, I remember he was like really excited for it, and then he thought it was slow as hell.
I mean, it was a slow movie.
It was a slow movie, but that's what I'm saying is I think I just like the shit that's like unsettling. I like the stuff that's outside of the box. I also love Nicolas Cage. And I thought he crushed that role for the 5 minutes he was in the movie. There are definitely faults in that movie. There's also faults in The Witch. You can find faults in every movie. It's whether you are entertained.
It's not your vision.
Yeah.
It's their vision.
It's whether you're entertained or not the whole time. That's how I kind of take it. And, I don't know. Does it have a good film score? Does it have great cinematography? If I'm sorry, but if you have good cinematography, I can watch your movie for 4 hours because I'm just looking at beautiful shots. When I was a kid, I used to look up, like if it was a hot ass summer day, I would just pull up like my phone in the middle of class and I would just look up like fall cabin and I would just look at it. And because then I would just like be super like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah,
that's nice. It's peaceful. It's cool.
So you could watch In a Violent Nature for 4 hours?
Dude, I actually thought the cinematography was really cool in that.
No, that's exactly my point.
I do need more of a story. So that's what I'm saying. Like Dune. Dune has great cinematography. And granted, it's Denis. And he does Blade Runner, which I love. And I know that they have the same cinematographer too. I think the cinematographer also does the Batman. So that also makes sense. So it's like, they have, I don't know.
It's a unique skill.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like, if you can have good cinematography, good shots, you know, when I see a shot, I go, damn, that's cool. That's really cool. I could just look at this for a second, and then you kind of get back to the story and stuff. But I don't know. So The Witch, I thought it had good cinematography. I like Robert Eggar's kind of cinematography because it just feels, I don't know if it's like grainy. I don't know what it is, but it's something about it feels kind of raw. And I think that's...
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do to film nowadays that make it look a certain way.
Yeah, but like when I see Robert Eggers, he does these like camera like things. Like it's like I noticed he did it in the Lighthouse. He did it in... If you guys
Doesn't
know
he
what
do
I'm
it
talking
in
about.
The Northman?
Yeah. Literally the first shot is you're looking at a crow and then the camera just like quickly turns and it's like the fucking...
Yeah, that's like a style of like shooting with a camera.
Yeah.
I've learned about it when I've dove into all the cinematography and all the directing.
But when I see
stuff.
that, I go, oh, it's Robert Eggers. Like I can just be like, okay, this guy's... Like you can kind of tell a director's...
They have like a watermark almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it's cool because that watermark is their style. It's cool. I mean, I could tell Denis did Blade Runner, or I could tell Denis did Dune because of my love for Blade Runner 2049. And yeah, I don't know. It's so sick. I don't know. So I'm a fan of Robert Eggers, especially because one of my favorite movies of all time, it's The Northman. I love The Northman. My books are about Vikings. Like I'm a huge Viking fan because I found out that I'm Germanic and Nordic and shit. So I was like, I just got super into the culture.
And one thing that's like really interesting is, so those first two movies that we've talked about were A24, and this was not.
No, this is Focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
different studio.
So is this one. Yeah.
Yeah. This one's a different studio.
It's Focus. Yeah. So I think Robert Eggers just works for Focus now. But
interesting, but still shot almost like
an A24.
It could be put out on A24's like list of movies,
Well, I think it's because, there's such a big, I want to say like cult following, but for A24 movies, I mean, people just see A24 and they're like, I'm going to watch that. But now I think more movie studios are kind of trying to allow that creativity to flourish, and Focus Features being one of them. And also,
it's like what the directors want.
Neon is one too. Right? Like they're allowing this creative stuff that I never would have seen.
Neon seems to be more horror now. A24 is kind of leaving horror.
Yeah, it's weird.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like a lot of the movies they've put out recently are kind of like really artsy, like love films or dramas or weird fucking movies like Men.
Well, that was horror, but
I mean, but it wasn't
like Civil War.
Yeah,
That's
was
one,
also
right. That's
not
A24.
horror.
Yeah. And but it's also, it was kind of artistic. It's interesting. But I do want to shift the conversation a little bit to vampires. What do you think of vampires? That's a big deal. I want to talk about vampires. I hope you like vampires. If you're watching this episode, hope you like vampires because vampires are sick.
If you could choose vampire or werewolf, are you choosing a vampire?
I would be a werewolf. Even though I love vampires, I'd be a werewolf.
Really?
Yeah. Because I feel like I have this already, like this animalistic, like primal. You know what I mean? It's like,
dude, I always thought of, in Skyrim when you can choose one side or the other.
Yeah.
I always chose the vampire lord because, dude, he's just so OP.
See, that's what I did every playthrough. How many fucking playthroughs did I have in Skyrim? Probably like 6. And every time I was like, I'm going to do a vampire this time. And then you get the choice, and you're just like,
damn,
I go to a werewolf.
No, vampires are sick though. They are cool. They're really cool. And what something you've pointed out to me recently is the sexiness of them now.
The sexual nature of vampires.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, obviously you're reading that crazy book, but that's given you a really face full of vampires and their crazy nature of how sexual they get.
Vampires. Well, I think it's cool because, for the longest time,
they weren't like that.
They weren't like that. It was just vampires were cool. And then, they were, a horror object and stuff. And then all of a sudden it kind of shifted. Maybe it was Twilight. I don't really know. But I know Twilight helped, but it was kind of he's a vampire. Like, I want to be like with a vampire. It's kind of like edgy and like kind of. So then vampires became like sexy, right? It was kind of like the overly sexy vampires.
They did make like every vampire in Twilight like a beautiful person, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did. But that's what I'm saying is I think it's the overly hotness of vampires. They made them like such. I just watched this movie called Night Teeth on Netflix with Debbie Ryan.
It's so good,
and
right?
The vampire. Oh, it was fucking. That movie was awesome, dude. I loved that movie. Yeah, I was rooting for him the whole time. But all the vampires in that they had one scene with two like the vampire queens or whatever, Megan Fox and Sydney Sweeney. They were in it for one scene, and I'm like, yeah. Probably, right? Like, you think of a vampire queen, probably going to be
definitely Megan Fox.
Definitely Megan
Jennifer's
Fox. Body.
Oh,
that's another one that kind of made like vampires sexy, right? Oh, dude. Yeah. So
she's also just a really crazy good actor in those type of roles.
Yeah. I think her and MGK are vampires in real life too. Probably. Wearing each other's blood and shit. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. They definitely file their teeth.
Isn't it crazy that people do that though?
Well, I think I can't remember. There's a group in Texas. I don't know if they're still doing it. I think it's Texas, but they're literally they're a vampire like organization, and they go out like at night. They live their lives at night. They all work like real jobs, but they all work like overnight shifts. And then they do daytime. It's so funny because they're all pale as shit, and you're not getting any sun, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have their fangs. They like file their teeth down. They all wear like contacts and stuff. And
God, that can't be good for you though.
No, it can't be.
I hope they're taking like vitamin D supplements. So
I think it's vitamin C. Is it vitamin C? No, it's vitamin D.
I thought vitamin
C is like oranges and shit, right?
Yeah, vitamin D, I think, is the sunlight.
Yeah, that's why Sunny D.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
Had to think about that for a second.
So,
it's just crazy.
The book series that I'm reading, well, okay, so vampires got overly sexual for a very long time. I think we can both agree.
Well, I mean, they sexualized everything in Twilight, but yeah.
True. But I'm saying like vampires themselves stopped being like scary and they started being sexy.
Yeah. You kind of wanted them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what's cool is that now, including Nosferatu, you're seeing this kind of, it's horror. Like vampires are scary again, but there's this kind of sensual like undertones to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll explain. So this book that I'm reading, I think I've brought it up at the pod a couple times, but the Empire of the Vampire series. There's 2 books out now. I think he's working on a 3rd. Fucking better be working on a 3rd. It is one of my favorite like series I've ever read. It's so good. It's also super smutty, but the smut is like in 1 or 2 scenes in like a 700-page book. So it's not like, it's like your typical smut, because I'm not really into that. I'm just like, all right, where's the action? Where's the fighting? Where's the story? Where's the betrayal? Where's
each other's heads off?
I'd rather read that. Right. So then it's kind of cool to have that. And then the occasional like buildup of these 2 characters. And then you see the climax of that.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know. It's just kind of cool. But
do you think it's purposefully done like that though? That he spaces them out like that so much?
Yeah, because the whole point, I think it'd be like too much, because the whole point of these vampires is that when, usually when a vampire bites somebody, it's like, oh my God, I'm getting,
Or they're just doing it to kill them and that's it, right?
But here it's like you can thrall somebody as like your vampire, like slave. Like you can like change them into a vampire, but if you make them suck your blood, so like you're a vampire and you like cut your palm and you feed them, they like the second they taste like your blood, it's like an orgasmic sensation.
Wild.
It's like so crazy, dude. It's like, what the fuck? But it kind of is a cool way to deal with the, I guess now, sexual nature of vampires without making it like all about that. Because there's still plenty of just like fucking each other up and all that, violence. And
is there like clans and stuff in the book?
Oh yeah. There's families.
Different families.
Yeah, there's families of vampires.
Higher tier.
Yep. And then they have like the half breeds. They're like the Silver Saints, or what they call them, and there's like they're half vampire, half like human, and they all like have different like powers. So one can like control beasts, like animals and shit. Dude, it's so fucking cool. So
it's very supernatural.
But it's also like, yeah, dude, if a vampire's like biting them, then they'll literally like orgasm as they die.
I mean, it might not be the worst way to die.
Facts, but it's just crazy, because that's the vampire shit. And then if you watch the second trailer for Nosferatu, you see she's like all over that dude.
She's about it. Yeah. Whereas in the original, she wasn't about it.
Yeah.
She was just like.
Before we get to the original, because that's how we're going to end this.
Okay.
Before we get to that, I just think, I'm stoked. I'm stoked. I'm happy that like this is like the great like gray area, I guess, of like, this is the fine line that I want vampires to walk for the foreseeable future. I just think it's cool. I don't know.
It's definitely an interesting play.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And something we hadn't seen before.
Maybe it's just it's kind of hot. I mean, I can't be the only one. Everybody wants to, fuck a vampire, but it's like,
I mean, if you're reading a really sexual scene, it can get steamy.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So like, maybe people do enjoy that and they're like, fuck, man.
Well, I'm not really talking about like smut. I'm just talking like the whole like aspect of like, I don't know, I don't know.
I mean, thinking about it, you might not even be reading it, but you're just thinking smutty.
Well, no, I'm talking like the vampire aspect of it, like where the biting, and then it's like they're just like they start like moaning while they're like sucking on your blood.
That is like, it's crazy.
You're getting your life drained, but at the same time, you're like feeling hella good.
It's no longer pain, it's pleasure.
Yeah, and there's like one girl too in the book, and she's like she's human, but they call her like a vessel. Because all she does is literally run around to people and just like, here. And they're just like, okay. They just like bite her and like drink out of her. And then she just like orgasms and then leaves.
Wait, she orgasms?
Yeah. Humans are like the ones who like orgasm when they're getting like sucked.
Oh.
Don't quote me on that.
Hold on a second.
Pump the brakes. No, but dude, the whole thing, that's what I'm saying, is the whole thing both ways is super sexual, which is like kind of wild because, I'm
that
like,
could be addictive.
That's the point of the thing, is that the girl is like, she's totally cool with it. Like
she's just like, just give me the pleasure all day.
One of the main girls is like, she's like, oh, you're human. Like, we need to get the hell out of here and stuff. And she's like, the fuck you talking about, bitch? She's like, my ass is sitting right here. Yeah. I don't know.
Wild. Well,
that's what I'm saying, is it's like kind of cool. I guess maybe I can compare it to like, you know, how girls want the bad boy. Like, guys want the bad girl, right? Like, you see that it's kind of the same feeling. It's like you see a vampire. It's like, that's probably the baddest you could get, right? You're like out here sucking people's blood and shit, and you're like, all right, yeah,
this is it.
Yeah. But I would rather have my vampire not sparkle in the sun and have him standing on a battlefield full of like 1,600 other vampires, and he's just like fucking them up. That's the difference for me, I think.
You like a super battle.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm super into like that shit. Yeah. Action scenes and big fights. And
jumping back here.
Way back.
Almost.
Why are we black and white?
Yeah. Why are we still black and white?
Why the hell are we black and white? This is why.
Well, Nosferatu made in the 1920s. 1920s.
A Symphony of Horror. There was a couple other Nosferatus that came out, so we got to make sure. Symphony of Horror is the one. Yeah. The
silent film, orchestra behind this, every scene.
Little cards.
Yeah. It was an interesting black and white film because they used color in a way to show night and day with blue and yellow.
Yes, they did.
And that was so unique. And you could really tell, like, hey, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Like, without it actually being night, you know, it's shot in probably the daytime because you got light and stuff. And dude, honestly, candle lit scenes are still
so sick.
By far one of my favorite things ever.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping the new one has some.
Sorry, I'm trying to find this one of the things.
That's okay. That movie though, going back to kind of the sexual thing a little bit, I had mentioned prior, this girl isn't seeking her blood being sucked or her to suck blood. She's being like summoned by him.
Yeah.
Which is completely different than kind of what we've been seeing in this trailer.
That's why I'm excited. It's like the new take on vampires, but for Nosferatu.
Yeah, it's wild.
There's like a scene where she's getting full on like plowed.
She's enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing. She's not getting plowed.
I'm sorry. It is true though. I mean, there's a scene in the trailer where she's just like straight up moaning, and then like, dude, her face is all like, her eyes are rolling to the back of her head and shit. You're just like, yeah. And she goes, "You can never please me the way he does," and I'm just like, God damn. This video's not getting monetized.
It's okay.
This is why we need a sponsor. Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea. Dude, there was a moment like probably like 30-40 minutes ago. I don't even know how long we've been rolling, but you almost sounded like you were about to say an ad read, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Dude, how sick would that be? I surprise you with like an ad read.
It's like, by the way,
are you tired of vampires sucking your blood? Well,
Band-Aids.
Band-Aids today.
Nah, that's too funny.
So
now I made myself lose my own train of thought. Nosferatu, the new one.
Yeah, she was getting plot. Yeah.
No, what I think is really, really awesome about this take is it's so modernized, and now we're getting hopefully a good score.
Yeah,
which will be cool.
Yeah,
because like obviously the original had really good music behind it. More dialogue. Obviously,
any dialogue. Yeah.
Well, all the dialogue we got in the old one is you had to read cards.
Yeah.
And okay, let us tell you, all of them went really slow, and Cal started reading them.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he was reading one, and it just flickered off.
I was
it
like,
was off the screen so fast, and he goes, "Well, that would be cool if I could have read the whole thing."
It was a cool one too. It was
to be honest, cool. They did repeat a few.
Yeah.
So, but it was so funny.
Yeah.
That movie, it was quite good.
It was good.
You know, Rotten Tomatoes score is fucking crazy good.
Yeah.
And audience score is good. It was I would describe it as a roller coaster of good and a little annoying because it started off really intense, like really fast paced. And then, well, there's going to be spoilers here. So
what?
There's going to be spoilers here. So
I already did the thing. Damn it. Why don't you do a spoiler? Spoiler! I fucked it up. Spoiler!
Because you can reach down easier than me. And then he gets basically is it Orlock? Orlock.
Yeah.
Count Orlock gets on this boat in a coffin, basically the Demeter story.
Yeah, the last voyage of the Demeter. Pretty much that.
But after that scene, the movie like slows down really heavily, like immensely. And you're just kind of watching this guy kind of struggle. You're watching this other dude go insane in a jail cell.
Yeah.
And then it picks back up towards the end of the movie when he's like, all these bodies are just leaving town. And they're like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
But it was overall a pretty solid film, especially being an hour and a half, like 5 acts of just video and an orchestra playing the whole damn thing.
I know. I think my takeaway from that was that, you do really get to appreciate how far we've come from what movies used to be. And
it's crazy.
I mean, it really is awesome. It makes you actually even appreciate like the super shit ones that you've seen, because you're just like, damn. I mean, even that has
still better.
Come a long way. But I do appreciate the old school stuff, man. I mean, it's a classic, and it really is a classic. And I think it was a big part of what created horror today. And I think that's just, I appreciate Nosferatu, a Symphony of Horror.
It was a stepping stone for more to follow.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see that movie.
Yeah.
Is someone created something really cool, and then people were able to spawn a bunch of other things after it. And I kind of love that about like the film, or just like any kind of artistic industry, really.
Yeah.
Is the inspiration you can draw from others to create even something more unique, better,
I think that's just something with like entertainment as a whole. I mean, just ask Olivia Rodrigo and Paramore. Good for You is essentially just misery business. But
True.
Do I fuck with both songs? Absolutely.
And to be honest,
fans were pissed, and they made her like credit Paramore on the song credits or whatever.
To be honest, though, as a casual listener, most people aren't going to pick that up.
I mean, I sure did. When I first heard it, I remember I was working in the back room and I heard it, and I was like,
sounds familiar.
No, I was like, oh shit, yeah, misery business. And then I heard like, good for you, look at me. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not that. What is this? And then Josh was like, it's Olivia Rodrigo. It's like, who? I love Olivia Rodrigo.
Her music is good.
Yeah.
But
she
good. Has been said to have taken other songs as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think.
Well, I don't care.
What did you expect me to say?
I thought you were going to hate on my girl.
I actually like her music.
I like Olivia, bro. She's good. All right. Well, I mean, this has been fun. I'm so fucking excited for Nosferatu.
If you haven't, go watch the trailer. Is there 2 now?
Yeah, there's 2. The second one's better than the first one.
Oh yeah.
They also don't ever show Count Orlock, so it's not like you're going to get too much of a
They show his. Oh my God. Can we talk about the shadow scene though?
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that real quick.
I think that's one of the coolest.
Well, describe it.
Okay. So like, there's this like window shot, and you see like this flowing curtain of moonlight shining in. She is standing looking at the window.
Yeah.
And then the like curtain flutters in the wind, and you see his shadow through the curtain. Mm-hmm. And then it kind of drops back down, and he's not there. And then it flutters back, and he's still standing there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was one of the coolest shots that they made.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this shit is so sick.
I actually like the other shot where it's the above view of the town, and it's the shadow of his hand going over it. Like,
crazy.
That's so cool, dude. Yeah, I don't know.
They did some really cool editing and film tricks for this movie, and
That's Robert
I'm
Eggers.
gonna applaud that.
Well, so what's cool is I mean, real quick, I know you're going to tie this episode up, but I want to bring back the Northman because, he said that the first thing he decided when he was doing this Viking thing is he goes, I am going to end this with the two guys fighting naked on a volcano. That was the first thing he thought of.
And guess what?
It happened, and they went to a volcano, and it was sick. Yeah, I guess all the shots of the volcano and stuff, they actually they filmed that. Obviously, they weren't on the scene for the volcano because that's deadly as hell. But it was so cool, and I don't know,
it was so kind of unexpected.
Everybody thought that the Northman was going to be this big giant action fest of just action and violence and all this crazy shit, but it was really a story about family. I mean, it's the true story about Hamlet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, his name is Amleth. It's just the same. It's just shuffle the letters. I think you get Hamlet. But yeah, I don't know. I would choose that over over Shakespeare's Hamlet any day. Cause it's just, I don't know. I love it so much. And there's certain scenes like there's a berserker dance. So the Vikings, they used to have berserkers, and they would literally ride into battle or run into battle naked and fucking high off of shrooms and all this shit. It was essentially fucking like LSD.
It was just like pain numbing, really, right?
And it was
so they could just take whatever.
The legend said that you could get shot with 100 arrows, and the berserker would still fucking be killing it.
Dang.
Which is so crazy.
That's a lot of arrows.
He was a berserker in that movie, and at the beginning, they had that berserker dance.
Oh yeah.
Where they're all just he's chanting that shit and being transform into your wolf minds and shit. I was just bro, I watched that shit before the gym for a solid 3 months. I'm not kidding. I was
hyped.
There's a scene the scene at the end when he loses the battle, he gets his arm fucking slashed and he's down there and he's just breathing heavily. And then he slowly builds the scream back, and then he just dude, sorry, that shit's so sick.
If you also haven't seen that, go watch it.
Go watch The Northman.
I think you can watch it for free. Maybe
I have no idea. I bought it.
I don't know.
I bought it on 4K, baby.
I thought there's a streaming platform you could watch it, but if you want to buy it, another sponsor would be cool. Fandango at home, baby. We rep that all day.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be so funny. We do the one zombie episode. We're talking about voodoo. Just be damn, dude, there's so much just voodoo and stuff. There's also a lot of voodoo on my PlayStation.
But that wouldn't work anymore because they changed their name. But what's tough is they're always going to be voodoo.
Yeah, to me, they're voodoo. Yeah. They'll always be voodoo. All right, guys. Well, if you're looking forward to Nosferatu, go ahead and like and subscribe. No, I'm kidding. I mean, not really. That'd be sick if you could, but go ahead.
You don't have to, but you should.
Spare a like, please. Spare a sub, please, miss.
We do appreciate all of you.
Yeah.
Though.
We're getting through this break. We have some really cool stuff for you guys. I know this episode was it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's just some more content for our viewers, to enjoy a conversation with us and
yeah, if you guys
get hyped for the holiday season.
Yeah, if you guys are super into vampires and shit, this movie's for you.
True. Also, and if you're not, maybe try it out.
Yeah,
you never know.
See what's up. You never know. We'll do a giveaway soon on just follow our socials. Patreon viewers, thank you for being subbed. Appreciate it. If you want to see more behind the scenes content, bonus episodes, things like that, go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon. And also, we have a holiday special coming out in 2 weeks, which we're going to talk a little bit about Krampus. And then we're also going to talk about some kind of the Thanksgiving special, where we talk about some kind of sad mysteries, some unsolved mysteries that happened during Christmas
or around it.
Yeah. And then, then after that, we'll see you guys Valentine's Day.
We'll see you after the new year when it's 2025.
Yes. Stay tuned for follow us on TikTok. I think we'll do it on YouTube too for our Flick Fridays.
Yeah, and we're gonna post it on TikTok, YouTube, and probably Instagram.
Probably should do Instagram too. But yeah,
if
you want to
be
know
everywhere, just fucking find it.
Little minute. Yeah.
I mean, if they already are watching us, they probably have found us.
It's true. So yeah, just stay tuned.
Stay out.
We'll
out.
each have a bunch of Flick Fridays. We won't be doing them together. It'll just be one-on-one. So
we're kind of sick of each other.
A little more intimate. Nah. Anyway. Yeah. Cool.
Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you around the graveyard.
Thanks for listening to this chilling episode of The Supernaturals. For your protection, make sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And stay tuned for the next episode.